With these stretches, it's not like you can overdo it. I mean, you can overdo anything. If you stretch too much, then you'll be hyperstretched, and that leads to instability. But if you're over 50 and definitely over 60, like I am, 62, we are less at risk of being over flexible and more at risk at being hyper rigid.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the sixth and final episode of my series on how everyday patterns and motions and repetitive positions can cause or exacerbate joint pain, and then what are some things that we can do to counter those repetitive movements to then help alleviate pain we're feeling and in some cases completely arrest it. All right, so now I've been working down the body. I've hit the neck and the shoulder area, the lumbar spine, the hips in the front, the hips in the back, the knees, and now I'm into the feet and the ankles. All right, so now many of us, just from getting older, we just get lack of mobility through the ankle joint. Many of us are experiencing then plantar fasciitis from this lack of mobility through the Achilles and the calf muscles in the back. If you wear any sort of a heel shoe, even a slight lift, that can lead to shortening of the Achilles tendon, which can then lead to ankle and feet issues. And so I'm going to show you two stretches that will address these areas, okay? So now the first one, and they're simple to do, and you can do them standing, so there's no issue of getting up and down from the floor. The first one is you're going to stand sideways, well, I'm standing sideways, stand, and then you're going to take one foot back into a lunge. Then you're going to slightly bend the front leg, and then your hands are on your hips. You are keeping the heel pressing into the floor. You're going to feel a stretch just from that, but to get it that much deeper, you're going to now take your pelvis and just slightly pull your thumbs down and your fingers up to just slightly change the angle of your pelvis, and you'll feel that that gets more of the lengthening in the calf muscle and the Achilles and the arches. And then you're going to hold for 30 seconds and then come out of that and then do the same thing again. Step back, bend the front knee, tilt the pelvis, hold for 30 seconds. All right? I usually tell clients to do a series of 5, 30 seconds each, because it takes a minimum of 20 seconds for the muscle to get the chemical messages to actually relax. So a lot of clients that I work with on these stretches to do to help to alleviate some joint pain, if they report back that they're not getting relief, and then I go over the stretches with them again, come to find out they're not holding it long enough to actually get the releases. And then when we correct that, hold it for 30 seconds, they report better results.
Your Second 50.life is my virtual platform that is designed for both men and women over 50 and 60, 70, and 80. And it includes pre-recorded video information on exercise and how to do it, whether you're fit and in good health, or if you have bad knees, bad shoulders, a bad back, whatever. It includes information on how to eat for weight management and how to eat for health management. It includes information on the psychology of the aging and what do we need to do in our heads, because let's face it, this aging thing is not for the faint of heart. So your Second 50.life is a virtual platform of resources that you can access at your own leisure, but it also includes 2 times a month live video coaching with me so that you can bring your own individual questions and get individual coaching, as well as have access to all the information on the pre-recorded videos. So please check it out, because we're all in this together and we got this.
All right, so now the one I just showed you is going to get into the gastroc muscle, the very big muscle in the back of the calf. That becomes the Achilles tendon that connects to the heel bone, and then the arches underneath the foot are attached to them. So that stretch I just showed you can help with plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, and chronic calf tightness. All right, now there are several muscles in the calf let's hit another one called the soleus. All right. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to come against a door or wall and you're going to put your hands on it. Now you're going to take your foot and you're going to bring your toes on the door, your heels down, right? That's your start position. And now to get into the stretch, you're going to bend your knee towards the door. And when you do this, you're going to feel not quite as intense of a stretch as you did on the calf one I just showed you. This is a deeper muscle group and it's a smaller muscle group, but you're going to feel the stretch. You'll feel the sensation. Hold it for 30 seconds. And then again, come out of that and then go back into it for your series of 5. So now, a lot of times people will do calf stretches like the one I showed you with the heel back, this one, but they're not getting the relief because they actually need to get into the soleus stretch. So I usually tell people, if you are having, calf, Achilles tendonitis, and plantar fasciitis, then I would do both these, all right, and not just one. All right, everybody, this is the end of my series. We've addressed the neck, we addressed the shoulders, we addressed the lumbar spine, we addressed the hips in the front, the hips in the back. They address that also, those muscles that we stretch there are also helpful for the knees, and now the ankles and the feet. So now you've got an inventory of motions and positions that can help to counter the repetitiveness of our everyday lifestyles so that you can use these and use them as frequently as you can. With these stretches, it's not like you can overdo it. I mean, you can overdo anything. If you stretch too much, then you'll be hyperstretched, and that leads to instability. But, if you're over 50 and definitely over 60, like I am, 62, we are less at risk of being over flexible and more at risk at being hyper rigid. And so these flexibility exercises are going to be probably more of a solution and less concern about being hyper flexible. So my point being, there really is not a ceiling of like what's too much, how much, is there a point where I can do this too much? The short answer is no. Do it as much as possible, especially if you're over 60. All right, everybody, I'm glad that you followed me on the series. I have many more video series available on YouTube. I have a subscription program where you have access to all my resources for a monthly subscription rate, plus contact with me for one-on-one coaching. So take a look at that. And I will see you on the next series, I hope. And in the meantime, be well. You got this. And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.